Good morning. You are listening to Sounds Like Lisa on 12 Radio, where we are changing the way you listen to this world. If you are watching me today, you are watching live simulcast on Facebook as well. And I'm enjoying the fact that I can both be seen and heard from sunny Boulder today. It is 94 degrees out here, and it is June 24th. We are in Cancer, and we are live. So if anybody has any sort of questions, today is the day to ask me. Get my cards out. I'll be doing my Lisa scopes, and I'm looking forward to seeing what content comes up today for everybody. Okay. Oh, wow. What a crazy week. Last week I had so many things going on that I can't believe it's only been a week that's passed since I've done the show. We are finally direct. Say sayonara to Mercury retrograde, and life should be strolling around as usual. Now we're back up to like being normal again, supposedly, right? It does not feel that way. I had a really hard time getting out of bed this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, really hard time getting out of bed this morning. So I don't know if it's because I'm not even sure why, but yeah, I was thinking that things should be going really smoothly. We started getting back into, well, we're in the shadow side of retrograde, but I just feel like I'm sluggish. I feel like I haven't shaken off the Mercury retrograde yet. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but definitely it is something that has got me, just a little tired, a little run down, like I need a holiday. Even though this past week I really did basically have a holiday. I had one of my best friends from high school and college, who was my roommate, come and visit me for just a few days, like from Thursday to Sunday, and it was so great to reconnect. I was so happy to be able to do that with my friend Missy, and I strongly encourage anybody who is feeling a little, bored with life to reconnect with the people that you haven't talked to in a while. It definitely makes you remember who you are, at least certain parts of yourself, right? And we had a great time. It was too short. It feels way too short. But I'm here, and I am, just getting into the hang of things. And I'm wondering how you guys are doing. I see a lot of people are saying comments. Hello, Quelly. Hello, Mary. Hello, Renee. I just want to give a shout out to you all, because I always imagine that there's only like 5 people watching. It's the easiest thing for me to do. Otherwise, I would probably freak out. And I like my small people who watch just in the beginning. And I know that this gets played later on during the day with other people. But yeah, it's nice to know that I'm talking to at least a couple people out there in La La Land, whether you're in radio or you're in my Facebook live feed. If you have questions, feel free to put the questions on the feed, or you could definitely call if you need to. You know how that goes. Basically, we have lots of ways to get in touch with me. I'm just going to throw this down on the bottom. The extension, if you did want to call, is 1-857-232-0155, extension 870-303. And I will be on live only on this hour, though. So if you catch me live, that's great. If you don't, this is all I can do. And if you need to find me, you can always find me when I'm not working here. I'm working at 12listen.com. This is the site that is the sister site to 12radio.com. And I'm available by phone most days, most evenings. It just depends what you're doing. Okay, so I was just kind of giving you an upshot on like how I was feeling. But like I said, it's great to see y'all smiling faces and your stuff popping up. Let's see. Mary has a question. She goes, what do you see me doing in the next 1 to 2 months, feeling restless and bored? I'm not surprised, Mary. We're just kind of getting out of kind of a crazy retrograde time, and now you're ready to get both feet on the ground and running, and you're not sure where to go. Aren't you a Scorpio, Mary? Can you put your birthday in so I can take a look? And I will definitely do that. So for those of you who have questions, and if you haven't known how I read, basically it's great if I have your birthday. Okay, I can do it without it, but it's more precise if I have your birthday, and I'm happy to answer those questions. Mary, I'm gonna actually just yeah, I'm gonna pull on you right now. Let's take a look at what I get. And then I'll probably just go into the horoscopes and whatnot. We had a lot, and I got a few comments this past week about some of the things that I said. So now that we're out of Mercury retrograde and we're in a different sign, now that we're in Cancer, we may be feeling a little bit differently. Just it's the end of the month. We're in Cancer, and so the placement of things. We also have a full moon coming up. Okay, so we've got a full moon around us too. So maybe that's why I didn't want to get out of bed. I just think I just didn't want to get out of bed today. But hey, let's see. Mary, you have the Seven of Cups upside down. You've got the Emperor card. And you've got the High Priestess card. So I'm going to just start off right now and jump into it. So let me show you. You have the Seven of Cups upside down. So these are things that changed. Okay, this is where you're coming from, changes. And the upside down is from a situation that really wasn't working for you. So you're getting out of it. You have the Emperor card. And it was upside down. Now, what I'm feeling like when I see this is when the Emperor card is right side up, we know that you're in control of a lot of things and like you have your world going for you. But when it's upside down, it means that you're really kind of not like you're not being very structured right now. And this may be one of the things that you're having problems with. Oh my gosh, I have to turn my phone off. Sorry about that. This may be one of the things that you're having problems with right now is the fact that you're not leading a very structured life. Like you're pretty much free falling and you can do what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But for you, and this is probably because you are a Scorpio, if I remember correctly. I think I'm remembering correctly. This non-structure doesn't work for you. I can see why you want to have a plan. Also, it's also telling me that your husband's kind of a little more loose-ended too right now. So there's probably a lot of just kind of free falling. Like you could do whatever you want, and that for you, especially for your goals, is not going to work very well for you. The High Priestess card that you have is the second card. So now you have two cards that are major arcana. Okay. So the High Priestess card, which is your second card here, is telling me that you need to follow your intuition and do what you've been trying to do. Okay. Just looking at these two together, these next 1 or 2 months, I really feel that you have to put some sort of structure into your time. Like if you're doing research for, opening up a health and wellness center or something like that for yourself, you may want to give yourself like steps on how you're going to do it. Actually sit and plan and do it. And you need to follow your intuition. I actually feel like going and doing some research on what you want to do and emulating what you feel like you want to be doing in a sense would be good for you. This may mean that you need to go on some retreats yourself. I mean, I'm giving you permission to like go and have fun and check out other people's stuff so that you can have a little bit more of an idea on what you want to be achieving. The Sun card is saying that you should be like doing this with your husband. So there looks like there's unions and it's a yes card. So I'm feeling like there is more of a planned action for you coming up in the next couple months for you to be doing things and going places and really actively researching what your next steps are for opening up what you want to open up. I can see you're restless and bored, but you need to be taking the next steps for your next plans, which I know your plans aren't probably coming into fruition until about the fall from what I've looked at before. But my gut is telling me that the best research is like actually going to what competition would be. So hopefully this will make some sense to you. I'm wondering if you're planning any vacations. Take a look at the retreats that are around you with the vacations that you're taking. But The bored factor is because you're not challenging yourself and you're not as structured as you usually are. So good luck with that, Mary. And I hope I answered that question for you. And you are a Scorpio. That's what I thought. 11-9. Okay. So let's see. Quelly says, this is my full moon sign that's kicking my butt. I was asleep by 9 last night. Yeah. I definitely could use more sleep today, and I probably will end up napping at some point too, Quelly, because there was just, I woke up with a bloody nose this morning, and that really just kind of screwed up my sleep too. It was like I had a stuffy nose all night, and I thought like all of a sudden my stuffy nose was going away, and the relief I felt was not my stuffy nose going away. It was a bloody nose. And in Colorado, that's like kind of common. I mean, because it's so dry and the altitude is high up here, but I haven't had one in a while. So I don't think it has anything to do with anything except for the fact that it interrupted my sleep, and I was sitting there like trying to find a tissue and not being happy about the fact that now I have to wash my pillowcase and my my nightgown and everything. You know how that goes. So yeah, okay, that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. I need a shot of energy is what I feel like. And sometimes with these full moons, that's exactly either I can't sleep or I feel like sleeping a lot. And today I definitely feel like, yeah, I could go back to bed. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have much that I need to do except work. And I love the fact that I can call my own hours. Thank you, Mark. And you guys find me when you need me. So this is a good thing. Okay, so what do I want to do? I think I better get into those lisoscopes before I get off on a tangent. I see a lot of questions lining up in my queue, and I'm excited about that. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I think I better. Jean says she's feeling shell-shocked. Terry says she'd love to get a reading. So let me do these spreads first, and then I will get to the readings, okay? I only have an hour to get this all out. And sometimes an hour feels like forever, but lately my shows feel like, wait, I need 5 more minutes. So I got this time constraint that is true and real. And I'm going to just do it. Let's take a look. Okay, so I am shuffling the cards. Yeah, I always try to let you see what I'm doing, but sometimes it's harder than others. All right, see how I'm doing it? There, I'm spreading them out. Yeah, okay. And one of these days I will have, 2 camera shots so you can see everything, but it's either my hands or my face, and right now you got my face. Okay, here we go. Capricorn, you have the 7 of Wands going on for you. Last week you had the World card. Okay, so last week we talked about, so this would be the World card is this week because I always go for the next week. I pull on a Thursday so you know what's coming up on the week after us, so on Monday. So right now I actively know that we are in the World card for you, Capricorn. You were ending things, you were trying to figure out what was leaving a situation, or some situations that you're breaking from, because it's a major arcana card. However, now that we have the 7 of Wands here, it definitely is showing that there is a definite transition going. There's a change from one thing to the next. You can see in the card, if you're looking, that there's this little guy that's jumping over to another side between 2 cliffs. He cannot fail, but he's making that change, that leap of faith. 7s are always talking about change. So where you're going, so this week you should be ending something, being done with something, and then you're going to be moving towards something else this next week. So there's a definite move or change or a shift here that's important for you to do. What do I want to do with this? That's a shift that's important for you to do right now. So pay attention to it. This is the time for you to change your thinking about things. It's a shift in how you're going to be doing things, though, for sure. So know that these next 2 weeks are all about shifting your thinking, moving from one idea to another idea, and recognizing that you're leaving this old idea that you did have so that you can pursue this new line of action and course of ideas for you. So this is going to be really kind of interesting for you, Capricorn, because you are pretty stable predictable and you don't make a lot of moves like this. But this is a big one. You're doing it for the right reasons. And if you're changing like the way you're doing your business, or you're shifting your aspect on like how you're doing things right now, know you're right online with what you're supposed to be doing. The universe is going to be helping you align and do what you need to do. So this is good for you. Yeah, I definitely think that this is an exciting time for you. As we leave the Mercury retrograde, you're going to find that this like actually works well for you. Okay. And it's going to be able to give you a fresh start, something that you've been kind of stagnant about. I mean, these past few weeks, it looks like there's been, I'm looking back at all the different things. You've had a lot of serious choices to make, Capricorn, about your business, about what you're doing. So these past few weeks have been pretty intense, and now you're actually making that move. I think, especially mentally, you're ready to do what the next few weeks are going to entail for you, and it's right in alignment with everything else. So you're right on target, Capricorn. You're exactly where you need to be, and because you're so analytical, I'm just giving you confirmation of what you already know, with the fact that like this change is good, and you're seeing why. Leaving what doesn't work for you and going towards what does work for you. I really think this is in terms of business more than like an actual physical move. I do think you're going to find that you like the shifts that you're making, and it's going to make the rest of the year a lot smoother. So good luck with this, Capricorn. Aquarius, last week you had the Two of Discs. So the 7, I pulled 2 cards on you last week. Let's see what we got for this week and see where we're at. Okay, the communication card. This is the 8 of Wands. Okay, so we were looking at really feel like you needed to make a lot of changes, and you felt like you were juggling a lot of stuff this week, just feeling like I got to change certain things. You weren't really happy with a lot of the things that was going down, Aquarius. Now, what I can show you about this next week coming up with this 8 of Wands is I feel this next week you'll have the opportunity to express yourself and talk about things and clear the air. There's a lot that has been on your plate, and I feel like you've been overwhelmed. So your voice is going to come out and you're going to make things change for yourself. This is good news for you because I feel like you've been stymied and stifled for the past couple of weeks. As I'm looking back and seeing where Aquarius was coming from, it just felt very overwhelming for you. So expect to feel refreshed. And, when I say refreshed, expect to feel, I'll say refresh in the sense of like you're having an energy to actually speak up and communicate what your grievances are from the past few weeks, from what I'm seeing. And it's going to actually allow for things to flow better. So know that your voice can be used proactively and that you can get what you want, but you're going to have to effectively communicate with people. And it looks like the past couple of weeks, it really hasn't been the time to speak, but I'm seeing you speaking up and getting what you need and what you want. So this is good for you, Aquarius, because when you don't have a say in things and you just like plod along, you could really get those pent up feelings of resentment. So this next week, it's all about clarifying like what has not been working for you. And I do think you'll see some positive results. So good luck with who you need to talk to, but this is the time to communicate, is this next week. Get those grievances out. Change what doesn't work for you is what we're looking at. And I think you're figuring it out this week, especially with that 7 of Swords there. There's like a change of actions here. And then next week will be the week for you to communicate what is going on and how to fix things. And you're going to find yourself having a better work environment. Now I'm saying work environment because that's what I'm picking up, but this could be also communication with your partner or people around you, because of the way that this changes is going on here. But you're going to like be able to like take what you haven't been like happy about and actually change it into something positive for you. Okay, Pisces, this week, oh boy, you had the 5 of Swords and the 3 of Discs. Feeling a little stuck and defeated, are you? And feeling overworked, Pisces. Let's take a look at what we got for you. Just writing this down, and I'm going to pull Pisces. Okay. Don't you love how this is live? I mean, this is really, you know why I do it this way? I could pre-plan this and like have this all set out and put it really pretty across on the screen or just read from a piece of paper. But this actually, this live element is the raw element. And so it's uncensored and y'all get this. Like, it's pretty accurate. I find it's better when I don't have to think about it too much. I just say. Uh, this is one of those times where I don't have to really think about like what I'm going to say, and it just kind of comes out and it works out better. Not always in life, okay, but this time, yes. Okay, so Pisces, we saw how you were. So now we have the Devil card upside down. What does the Devil card upside down means? Well, first of all, the Devil card is a major arcana card. Anytime you have these Roman numerals like this and it has a big word on top of it, like the devil or whatnot, you know you've got an important time going on right now. I don't want you to be worried about this necessarily, but I'm going to tell you what this means. You may be feeling a little stymied in your creativity. You look like you've had a rough run of it, Pisces, past few weeks, okay? And this is also saying that because of like this being stuck, you may find yourself one more week having to like put out more money towards things that you didn't want to have to put out money towards, but you have to take care of life sometimes, and feeling very stymied creatively. So it's going to be kind of a frustrating week for you. Now, we all get them. It's not just you, Pisces. We all get them. So I just need for you to know that this too shall pass. You'll be taking care of things that need to be taken care of. And the week after this, like this next week is going to be better for you, but you're just tying up those loose ends of things that needed to be taken care of. And from looking at this, it may be feeling a little frustrating. Past few weeks have not been the best weeks of the year, but we all have these cycles and it will get better. Just know that anything that needs to be taken care of next week is something that if you don't take care of it now, it's going to break on you even worse. Like, this may be like attention to having to get your car done, maybe your brakes on your car or something like that. This is stuff. The devil is always like, when I look at the devil, I think it's scarier than it seems. I mean, it feels scarier than it really is, but it really means like, that saying, you can't take it with you. Those materialistic things in life that seem to be, things we have to pay for that we can't take when we leave. These are the things that you have to take care of. So these are like the stupid bills or the things, just the earthly things. This is taking care of what's stuck on the earth, like that we have to take care of. Like, certain things usually break when you get the devil card that you have to fix, but attention is made. Money is like going out to the stuff. But, everybody gets this every once in a while. You're not cursed or anything. This is just a week of paying attention to the things that are very much like stuck here on this earth. It's not going to like mess with your spiritual journey. It just makes you feel like you're stuck dealing with stuff that you don't want to deal with, but we all get it sometimes. So Pisces, this is your week. Woo. Hang in there. Aries had it last week, and that means this week, Aries is kind of dealing with it, and this too shall pass. And Aries knows that like they're almost done with this week. So every like sort of thing that you've had to like kind of deal with Aries, like I'm talking about with Pisces right now, next week Aries doesn't have to deal with this, right? So we all go through it. And next week, it's your jackpot lottery at the devil card. Okay. Aries, when I pull on Aries, like I can see that you've had a rough couple weeks, but you're getting out of it now. Now it's showing me that you're thinking of like chilling at home, Aries. You're feeling like you have some directions to take and your focus is on the home for this next week. It's not a bad thing. Those twos tell me that you're going to be torn between like, when you have the two, it means you have that duality going on. So you're torn between doing one thing or another thing. But the one thing I do feel is that you're going to be focusing on the home. So maybe you're torn between like fixing something up or going somewhere, and so your focus this next week is on like, what can I do while I'm like hanging around the home. If you're going on vacation, just because it's the middle of the summer, you may be torn between going to one place or another, but you're going to find that this is one of those days where this one of these weeks, I should say, where you're not sure which action you should take, and I'm going to tell you either action that you take is fine. But when we're focusing on the home like this, it means that you may be making some repairs or trying to fix something up. I mean, it's not as bad as the devil card at all, but it may be like trying to beautify, your home, staying home and like maybe working on the yard or planting something or something like that. It's not a bad thing. It's just a matter of like paying attention to detail and deciding what you want to do. I wouldn't be surprised, because you're in Aries, that you want to get your hands like and make beautify things, like maybe in the garden or something this next week. Go ahead, do it. It's hot. Wear sunscreen. That's maybe, and watch your head. Okay. Marnie last week told me that her window blew out. I remember that. And then it occurred to me that I think the week before I had told you guys to watch your heads, because there was something that came up, and again I'm getting that again. So you guys watch your heads. I don't know why I pulled that up with you, but it's because you're the Ram, you're the Aries. Sometimes you guys get head injuries, so just be careful. All right, going over to Taurus here. We're getting this knocked out. Taurus, I'm pulling on you. The Knight of Swords. Okay, so Taurus, let me take a look at where you were last week. It's always on the wrong sheet. Oh, you're the Emperor last week. Okay, so Taurus, you were like getting yourself in order here. You were getting yourself under structure, figuring out like what you needed to get done this past week. And now that you're like kind of got yourself centered again, that Knight of Swords, Knights are always about the coming in or the going out of a situation. Swords is action. So you got yourself really centered this last week, Taurus. Now there's new action coming up for you next week, and you'll have to jump on it. Taurus is like to hang tight and figure out what they want to do. This is not calling for you to weigh the situation out. This is calling for you to actually take action. So this is an opportunity coming your way, and if you think about it too long, the opportunity may pass you by. So I want you to pay attention to the new actions that are coming into your world and be flexible about this. This is saying that ambition is around you right now. So this could be an opportunity with work that you can either take or not take. I'm going to stress that this is the time to take it this next week. You've been kind of bored and restless anyways. You were getting yourself together, like feeling really on top of things or trying to. Now you're going to have the space to make room for this opportunity to come in, and instead of being slow and thinking about it, I want you to be impulsive and just go with it, okay? Because this is the time for you to like take action and go with the new energy that's going on around you. You will find that you will have opportunities, but if you think about it too much, and this may be like somebody offers to say, hey, you want to go someplace, you want to go on vacation, and instead of going, I don't know, I gotta see if it's in my plan, I want you to go and do it, because this type of energy is very fortuitous. You find that it's a very high energy, and it makes you act as opposed to think, which Tauruses, you love to think about things. You're a lot like Capricorns like that, but I want you to act, okay? Be impulsive, which is not really in your wheelhouse all the time. But next week, you're going to have some situations that opportunities arise, I would say. I want you to take advantage of it, okay, Taurus? Because it is your week to do so. Going over to Gemini, we are finally out of Gemini. And I got to tell you, it was a run for Gemini this past couple of weeks here, birthday weeks and all. And now we're out of your, you were told to be patient last week and hang tight. Let's see what you get this week coming up for you. See, when you're patient, things will happen. Next week is new beginnings for you. You have the Chariot card. Okay, so this is new starts, fresh starts. You see on the screen, you'll see like a race car. In the traditional, this is the Roaring deck, if anybody wants to know. And I always use this deck because it's just easy. I mean, I got 1,000 decks that I probably should try to do, but when I do these, this is just the quickest thing for me to do with my readings. This Roaring deck is out of print, but you can find it here and there. It's RHIG, just in case you want to know. But in this deck, instead of having a man who has like these two like Sphinx horses or something going either direction, this is a race car, Formula One car that's like pulling up to like get out of the gate. Basically, you got to be able to handle what's coming your way when you have this Chariot card. You got to know that there's some new beginnings. You got a lot of power behind it. This is a fresh start for you, Gemini. You've been told to be patient. Now this next week's coming up, so you'll have new beginnings. There are changes. It's a 7, so you know there are changes going on. Like for my daughter, who's a Gemini, I can say she starts class again next week, a new semester. This is a perfect card for her because she has to get prepared to know that it's going to be, after telling her she's got to be patient, now it's like taking off. So this is new beginnings for you. You're going to have a lot of power behind you and take off. Some of the other Geminis that I know, I can think of, I do know one that has been waiting to kind of get the right timing for her to like, how do I put this? Take advantage of like the timing for her like divorce situation, like when she should file for her divorce, like custody stuff. This would be a perfect week for her to start those filings, okay, because there's a lot of power behind it. I've been saying, wait, this next week for you, Gemini, means that this is your time to start and actually recognize that you get a lot of power. Think of it like a race car. You've got to be conscious of the direction that you want to steer this thing, because there's a lot of power behind you with these new beginnings, and you've got to be really focused on where you want to go and like how you want to get there and what you're going to do. So Gemini, know that you're getting prepared to like get out of the gate and go. I've been telling you to wait, but this next week, these new beginnings are strong, and coming in Cancer right now is a perfect time for you. It's actually, I'm looking at this. It's the sign of Cancer for you as well in this card. It's in the corner here. See. So we know that this is the time for you to shine, and I'm really excited to see how these new beginnings are for you, because you're going to be able to show yourself for who you are, and you're prepared. You've had to wait, but now it's time for you to make those beginnings, and be like the peacock, show your glorious like who you are. Okay. You've been waiting, and here's your time. Okay, so go for it. All those things you've been wanting to do, this is the time for you coming up as we're in Cancer, which I think is good. Let me take a look at this. Okay, going over to Cancer. Now this is your birthday month. Happy birthday, Cancers. Looking at what was going on with you, Cancer, last week. It was the Prince of Swords. Okay, not bad. You were doing some action this week. You've been like taking some steps ahead for you this past week. Okay, good. So you've been having some like action, Cancer, meaning that you've been like plotting forward, like with some steps like to move forward in your future, even though it was during the retrograde. Not bad. But now I'm looking at this and I'm like, you're wondering how those steps are going, and you've got the 6 of Swords. Now you need some encouragement here. This is why you're getting this. The 6 of Swords, if you don't know what the 6 of Swords is, it looks like a maze. And in the maze, there's these 2 different strings going 2 different directions through the maze, but they both end up getting out of the maze and being together. So what this card is symbolic of is everything happens in divine perfection. Okay, so no matter what path you take, no matter where you are, there you are. It's exactly where you're supposed to be. So everything happens in divine perfection. It may not be the same exact path that maybe you'd like to be on, that maybe somebody else is on, or you're not really sure how you're getting there because it's not a direct line. It's like saying, I start a job, but it's not the job I want, but I started a different position, but I'm working my way up. But it kind of like follows that like path, but you'll get to where you want to be. So for you, Cancer, just remember that everything is working in divine perfection to where you want to be. It may not seem like it all the time, but it's there for you to understand that you're getting there. And it's actually a week for you where you may not be really focused on like how you can find yourself in the situation and where you want to be. As long as you have that focus in mind, even if it's like doing something that you didn't think you'd ever be doing towards like where you want to be, know that you're exactly where you need to be and be okay with it. You're in that maze and you will find yourself where you need to be. But this is all part of the process. Trust in the process and know that what you're doing is all part of the divine plan. Okay, Cancer, that's my reassurance to you, because I feel like you're going to be like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm here and I'm stuck here. This isn't the job I want. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you are, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're going to be getting to where you want to be, but it doesn't always seem like it, okay? But you are getting there, so happy birthday, Cancer. You will find your way to where you need to be, and know that there is, no wrong spot, even if you don't see it, in this next week. It's there. Keep plodding forward. It's sometimes hard. I'm not gonna lie. Especially if you're not exactly sure where you think you need to be and you're like thinking like, what am I doing? This is one of those times that you just have to have faith that every step that you're taking is a step in the right direction, whether it feels like it or it doesn't feel like it. It is all part of divine process, okay? There's my reassurance for you, Cancer. I love you guys. Happy birthday. Okay. Leo, you were stuck last week. You had the hangman. So you were doing things for other people this past week. A lot of sacrificing for other people, not moving forward necessarily on your own, Leo. Let's see where you're going to be next week. It's sometimes a sacrifice for you because you're not used to putting other things first I wouldn't say you're not used to it. It just doesn't always feel organic on what you do, but you do it because you love people. So just remember that you do it because you love those around you, and sometimes we sacrifice ourselves for other people and we put our own needs on hold. So I see that you've been doing that this past week, but this next week, you have the position of power, which is awesome. So this is the 4 of discs. If you were trying to sell something or you're trying to get an idea across, this next week for you, Leo, is your week where you see that you have made that happen. Okay, you've been sacrificing, and now you're stepping forward and taking your power, and like things are resolving for you this next week, which is great. You can probably find yourself coming into money. Like, I keep going to selling things because it's a great example. Say you have something that you were trying to get rid of, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to sell a car. This next week you'll be selling the car. Maybe you're trying to sell a house. This next week you'll the house will be sold, if it's that type of thing. But it's a big win for you. After sacrificing, there's a big win in monetary gain, and you're going to see why you've been sacrificing, how this manifests for you. The gain is next week, okay? So you're going to see like why you've been put on hold for a while, and now you're going to be coming into your power. So all things have reasons on why they happen, right? And for you, I think you're going to feel satisfied that you see results this next week. So see, Leo, it all works out, even if it's sometimes slow. But you make these sacrifices so that you can have these rewards. And next week, your rewards are coming up. And I feel you're going to feel really good and confident about that, because these steps that you make towards like moving towards your future are showing up, and they're actually happening for you. So good luck, Leo. I'm happy to see like good news coming up for you. Virgo. Oh, my little Virgo warriors. Or should I say warriors? But I think warrior is probably a good word too, right? You had the 3 of Cups last week. Oh, that was good. You've had a good week this week in a sense. So let's see where you're coming into next week. Yes, Gracie, I see. Hey, beauty, you need to join me for a live. Yeah. I'll join you for a live, Gracie. Wasn't it fun having Gracie the other day? I have to have more people on. I'm going to be doing this. I have to figure out, well, you guys who've been dealing with me for a long time know that I've been trying to figure out a radio show, trying to figure out this live simulcast thing. One of these days it's all going to click, but until then you're along for the ride. That's kind of how I look at things. It's a cruel ride sometimes, but we all have to go on it, right? Okay, so Virgo. It's kind of funny. I thought of you, Gracie, and I believe you are a Virgo, and so now I'm answering the quintessential Virgo because I believe she's my mother hen. Even though she's younger than me, she's always tending towards her flock and worrying about everybody. You are the quintessential Virgo, Gracie. Let's see the Sun card. That's awesome, Virgo. So the Sun card, after having the Three of Cups, so there was like this past week, you've probably been around family and people you love and finding your strength, and it just is a good thing for you. My gut on this is that the Sun card is there's still unions, like it's a yes week for you. Virgo, you have 2 weeks that are like actually really good for you. This week is good because you were surrounded by love and people that you care about, and next week is going to be very positive for you because things are going to work out for you on a lot of levels. That Sun card's a major arcana card. So know that this is as bad as Pisces has been for them. Virgo, you're doing great. I'm looking at this and thinking that this next, like these 2 weeks for you, Virgo, are good. They're just good weeks. Soak them in and recognize that anything that you put your mind to in these next weeks, Virgo, like things are starting to manifest around you. I'd get a lottery ticket or something. You're kind of lucky right now. Okay. So I don't really have much to say about Virgo except for the fact that things are going to work themselves out for you. Okay. Which is good. We're almost done, and then I'm going to get to the questions, okay? Because they're popping up everywhere. Going into Libra. Okay, Libra sisters. Let's see what we got going on. What was our... I don't even know what ours was this past week. Oh, it was the Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. Good news. I see that. Let's take a look. Okay. 2 of Cups. Libra, great. This is all about self-care and love. So we had some news this week on like moving forward, doing some of these like changes that we've needed to change. There was a lot of action going on around us. Some weeks are more quiet than others. This week, what we're finding is like some situations are leaving and some situations are coming in for us. Basically, our focuses are shifting. Which is good. That Knight of Wands meant some good news was coming in about changes happening around us. And then we have the 2 of Cups, which means that we are going to be taking care of ourselves. And, this is a good week for us coming up to pamper ourselves. I love when I get to say that, right? You could feel very inspired, very creative. You could feel it's going to be a good week for you to take care of you. Okay, or I'm going to take care of me, you take care of you. We all get this card every once in a while too. I love when this card comes around because we deserve to support ourselves. Okay, so you'll be taking care of, maybe you're going to the beauty parlor, or maybe you're going to get a pedicure, or maybe you're going to take a bubble bath. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of ways that we can self-care for ourselves, but it makes us rejuvenate, and we all need that every once in a while. I haven't seen this card come up for us in a while, so I guess it's a good week for us to be doing that this next week. And the pampering is good because it's well deserved. Okay, and we do this in order to keep rejuvenating ourselves. Like, this is, every sign gets it. It just seems like Libra, it's time for us to take care of ourselves next week. Okay, and enjoy it. It's a good week to do it. So I'm happy to see that, because usually it's like bills and chaos and whatnot. This is a good week for us, right? So taking care of ourselves, pampering ourselves, finding who we are and getting back to our roots, this type of thing is really good for the Libras to do. And maybe that's because we find we have a little extra money to do it or something like that. So, hey, I'm not going to knock it, especially since it's my sign this week. I'm taking it as like, I need to go get a pedicure, and that'll be my self-love because, yeah, It's summer. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Scorpio. What are you guys doing? Let's take a look at my Scorpios. One of these days, I should just do stuff on cusps too, because I have a lot of cuspy people who are listening, and everybody's like, "Well, I just listen to both signs." And that's great, but maybe I just have to do a special on cuspy people because I got a lot of you guys there. Okay, so Scorpio, you're dealing with some unpleasant stuff this next weekend. Um, it is the self-cruelty card and the moon card. So why am I telling you this? Because um, the stuff that you kind of have been avoiding, that things that haven't been working out, you're going to be really hard on yourself for. You have the self-cruelty card. Okay, this is what you inflict on yourself. Nobody else inflicts this on you. Okay, I got a lot of Scorpios who listen to this, so I'm going to try to explain this a little bit, what I mean about this. You're going to be dealing with the stuff that hasn't been working out for you. If you're in a relationship or trying to get out of a relationship or things aren't working out very well, you're going to be dealing with that difficult nuances. Like some weeks are better to deal with those stuff than others. So even if you're in a successful relationship, you'll still be dealing with the unpleasantries about some of that relationship and kind of cleaning it up, airing it out, and dealing with stuff because you're feeling very confused about things. And so one of the things that you may be finding is you're dealing with the stuff that is not so pleasant, but it's necessary. So understand this, Scorpio. It's kind of like cleaning out the wound. You're cleaning out the wound, you're cleaning it up so that you can get yourself moving forward, and that you can get all this unclarity about things cleared up. Okay, you're getting rid of the illusions. You're figuring out, I'm thinking of some of my Scorpio friends that are getting divorced. This is the time to kind of be dealing with some of the things that are unpleasant that you don't like dealing with, but you're airing it out so that you can clear it out and actually I heal from it. Okay, we all got to do it. You also have the moon card. I pulled two cards because I wanted to see why, what was going on and what you were dealing with. And this is just telling me you're clearing up a lot of the questions around things that you haven't felt comfortable about dealing with. Some old wounds probably are going to be being cleaned out. Okay, we don't like doing this. I mean, Scorpio, it's hard to forgive. I mean, I know you guys, that sting, you want to sting the person that hurt you, but forgiveness is the way to deal with this. Just try to let it roll off your back like water off a duck's back. You know that sign, that whole adage. Scorpios like to sting. This is the time for you not to sting, but to clean out, clean up. Recognize that you're doing this so you can move forward. It's not always pleasant to look at all this icky stuff, but once you get this kind of toxicity and this poison out of you, you're free to move forward. So this usually has to do with relationships. So you may be dealing, Scorpio, with some of the icky stuff in your relationships that you don't really want to do, but this is the week for you to do it. That's okay. I promise you'll get through it. And you are your own worst critic with some of this. But I also know that ultimately this is for healing, and you're going to feel much better after you deal with this unpleasantness. Okay? So now we go to Saggy. Saggy, you're always last, but never least. Let's see where you were, Saggy. Huh. Interesting. I just wrote Sagittarius last week. I didn't write what you guys had, so you take a look at this week. That's weird. I never do that. Oh yeah, the Lover's card. So Saggy, you're going to be going back to something that's important to you. This Lover's card is like going back to the past and revisiting it and weighing to see if it's what you want to do or not. This could be like taking a look at something that you've been doing and not sure if you want to continue it or not. But if it works for you, do it. If it doesn't, change it up. It's just going back and revisiting to see if things are working for you or not. This could be a relationship. This could be a working partnership. Lover's card is a moment of kind of judgment in the sense of, is this working or is this not working? It could be with work, it could be with an idea, but you're going back to something and reevaluating it. So if it works for you, keep it in your life. If it doesn't, get rid of it. It's really pretty cut and dry like that. I know when it comes to people, that's a little more difficult, but I guarantee you, if you look at it that way, you'll find that it's easier to cut people out of your life who are toxic to you, realizing that they don't work for you. Uh, if it's a job, it can be a little more difficult, but if you look at it in a very analytical way, which I think you will, Sagittarius, then you'll be able to figure out if you want to continue in the direction you're going in. Okay. All right. Now, I am looking at all my different questions. I'm going to try to hit them as quickly as I can. And hopefully, because I only have a few minutes, I will get to everybody. But I do see that I got a lot of questions today. And let me see if I can see this. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I guess I can see this. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so first of all, Maureen, do I have time for a question? Will I be able to secure a remote position in my job search? I can do this. Yes. And Maureen, you got the death card, so you're actually in the position of getting a new job here, and you're having a rebirth card. I know everybody's always scared about the death card, but it's actually a rebirth. So yes, focus on what you want for your job, Maureen, and you will get it. But the answer, the long and the short of that is yes, you can do that for yourself. Let me see if I'm missing anybody on this one. There's 20 comments. I'm going to look at that, and hopefully I can see everybody. Now I'm going over to you guys know how I have this is all over the board, literally. I'm going over to my social comments over here. Let's see. Jean's feeling shell-shocked. Terry would love to get a reading. So Terry, you're 8462. Terry, I know quite a few people. I actually know somebody who's got your birthday. Who is married to a twin, and they all have the same birthday, so that's kind of funny. I love 8/4s. Let's take a look. You know what, Terry, you're having good news coming in for you that will be changing the way you're seeing things. There's also a breaking away from something with this Prince of Swords. So do not be surprised about the changes that are abrupt and breaking away from you and new beginnings happening. It's like you're going to see a lot of shifts, and having to make decisions is what's coming up with it. Don't make any decision until you feel comfortable with the decision that you make, but you're going to have some choices here to make with these breaking away from and going into new situations for you. It's actually a good thing, but I do think that the reason that you're going through this is because you have some new beginnings coming for you. By September, Terry, I think you're going to be in a completely different situation, and it's going to be feeling good. I have a feeling this has to do around work for you and around what's going on in your household. But it's a good thing, okay? I hope this makes some sense to you because I did that really quickly. It's an awesome and fun ride, so no worries, Lisa. Palobi Chahur, I would love to get a reading on job, 1st of June, 1995. Okay, I see you. Let's see. Palobi, you don't like the job that you were in, obviously. That you have there's a lot of losses around you, and you're in a good field, but I don't exactly like the job. There's also changes going on around your job everywhere. The Tower card says it's kind of crumbling down and restructuring. There's a guy that's going to help you find a new job, I feel, or a new situation. But I do feel like there's changes around your situation. And you just have to kind of keep your head down, but it looks like there's a guy that's going to help you get through the situation, and there's another job on the end of this. It could be within the same company, but it looks like there's some restructuring or something like that going on. If you're not in a company, okay, and you're not working right now, it's a guy that's going to help you get through this. But it looks like for me, the end of July, you're going to hear some good news, and you're going to be in much more solid ground. I hope that makes sense for you, okay? I hope that makes sense for you. Let's see, sweet spot. I would like to ask about, I'm facing problems because of my relationship. My date of birth is 9/10/1997. Sweet stop. Sweet spot. Well, I know you're worrying that Virgo in you. Uh, you need to get out of this relationship that you're in. It looks like in some ways. Okay. Or I guess I should say the relationship needs to shift. It looks like you're thinking about trying to stay with this person and you love them, but it is causing stress and struggles in your life, sweet spot. Um, what I want to say to you is you have the Two of Cups. You need to take care of yourself. This may mean taking a step away from the relationship to see what is best for you. I don't want to tell you to get out of a relationship, but I need you to figure out how to put yourself first. Okay. I almost feel like the relationship is suffocating, and I'm curious because I don't know what's going on here, but I'm feeling like you're in a controlling situation here, and you may need to take time for yourself and figure out what is good for you. Okay. And Palobi, I just answered, so I hope this works out. But when I was looking at Sweet Spot, I'm concerned about you, Sweet Spot, because I don't feel like this relationship is that healthy. I want you to take time for yourself and ask yourself, is this really worth it? It feels very controlling. I don't know what I'm picking up, but I can see that you love this person, but I need you to love yourself more. I will be on next week if you want to see me like take care of this a little bit more in a little more detail. I have too many questions and I only have like 1 minute left, but I hope this makes sense to you, Sweet Spot, on what I'm talking about. And let's take a look at this. Is there anybody else I can do really quickly? Relaxing and getting back to nature, Maureen. I think that's good. Oh, yeah. I have comments on 3 different sites here that I'm trying to get through. Look, I know that like we're running out of time, but I will be back every Thursday at this time. This is one thing you can count on. You just got to find me here on Sounds Like Lisa. I am live on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube. I am live, on Sounds Like Lisa and 12radio.com. I'm always happy to like take these questions, but just know that I can't always get to all of them. So I've done what I could for today. I hope this has helped those who have thrown up their questions, and I look forward to seeing how this next week affects you guys. I know it's going to be a full moon, so self-care is essential. Burn those intentions, really make a new start here. It's a new cycle, and recognize if you're feeling out of sorts and wonky and stuff, it probably has to do with what's going on above us. I know that I don't always sleep very well during a full moon. I didn't register until somebody wrote it in the comments, and I'm like, no wonder I had a bad night's sleep and I didn't want to get up. It's that full moon hitting me. Probably won't sleep tonight either. So until next time, you can find me here on 12radio.com, or if you want to have a private reading with me, you can always find me on 12listen.com. I will be on and there for you whenever you need me. But it's great talking to you guys and seeing everybody, and I wish you have a wonderful Cancer season coming up, and we will see you next time here on 12radio.com, where we are changing the way you listen to this world. Have a great day, make good choices, and I will see you sooner than later. Cheers.